The White House is one of the most secure and closely monitored buildings in the world. It serves as the residence of the US President and a command center for national decisions that can affect the entire planet. While most people are familiar with its historic rooms and ceremonial halls, very few think about what exists underneath it. Beneath areas connected to official reception spaces, including the ballroom section, lies a hidden underground system designed for emergencies, security operations, and continuity of government. Most of this underground structure is not visible to the public, and much of it remains classified. What exactly is down there has been the subject of discussion, research, and speculation for decades. How the White House originally stood above ground only. When construction of the White House began in 1792, it was designed as a presidential residence, not a fortified command center. At that time, security threats were simple compared to modern standards. There were no aircraft, no nuclear weapons, and no long-range missile systems. The idea of building underground survival facilities simply did not exist in the original design. The White House was completed in 1800, and for its early years, everything important happened above ground. However, this changed very quickly once real-world conflict reached Washington. During the War of 1812, British forces invaded the city and burned the White House in 1814. This event exposed a major weakness. The most important building in the country had almost no protective depth or backup structure. Even after Reconstruction, underground security was still not a major focus at that time. But history was moving toward a different kind of warfare. The shift toward hidden protection. By the early 20th century, warfare had evolved. Airplanes, bombs, and industrial weapons meant that surface-level buildings were no longer safe in large-scale conflicts. During World War II, Washington, D.C. became a potential strategic target. Government officials began preparing for worst-case scenarios where the president might need immediate protection. This is when the idea of underground safety beneath the White House started becoming reality. Initial underground shelters were constructed beneath parts of the White House complex. These early spaces were not large or highly advanced, but they introduced a new concept. The president must be protected below ground if the surface becomes unsafe. These developments were done quietly and with minimal public attention. Cold War and the era of underground expansion. The Cold War completely changed the way governments thought about survival. For the first time in history, nuclear war became a realistic threat. A single strike could destroy entire cities within minutes. This forced the United States to rethink presidential protection on a much deeper level. The White House complex began receiving major underground upgrades during this period. Unlike visible renovations, these changes were hidden beneath the surface. Some of the improvements included reinforced underground chambers, blast-resistant structural walls, secure communication systems, independent power supply systems, emergency air filtration units, protected command spaces. These systems were designed so government operations could continue even if the outside world was under attack. Most of these upgrades were never publicly detailed. The White House ballroom area and underground structure. The ballroom and reception areas of the White House are used for formal events, state dinners, and diplomatic gatherings. But beneath these elegant spaces, the underground infrastructure becomes far more functional and security-focused. While exact layouts are not publicly released, reports and historical accounts suggest that different underground levels exist beneath multiple sections of the building, including areas near ceremonial halls. These underground levels are not simple basements. They are part of a wider system designed for emergency operations and restricted movement. In some cases, renovations and expansions over decades may have added additional underground reinforcement without changing the appearance of the building above ground. This means that while guests attend events upstairs, complex systems operate silently beneath them. The Presidential Emergency Operations Center. One of the most important known underground facilities is the Presidential Emergency Operations Center, commonly called the PEOC. This facility became widely known after the events of September 11, 2001. During the attacks, senior government officials were taken into this secure, underground location to ensure continuity of leadership and communication. The POC functions as an emergency command center. It is believed to include secure communication lines, military coordination systems, real-time intelligence monitoring, protected meeting areas, independent operational infrastructure. Its exact full design is not publicly available, but it is known to be one of the most secure locations connected to the White House. Even today, most details about its internal structure remain classified. Underground tunnels and secure connections. Beyond bunkers and command centers, there are long-standing reports of tunnels beneath the White House. These tunnels are believed to connect key government buildings in Washington, D.C., allowing secure and protected movement during emergencies. One of the most frequently mentioned connections is between the White House and the nearby Treasury building. These underground routes are thought to serve multiple purposes: emergency evacuation, secure transport of officials, restricted movement during crises, protected communication pathways. However, the exact number, size, and layout of these tunnels are not publicly confirmed. Over the years, renovation workers and engineers have occasionally reported encountering sealed or restricted underground sections, but official details are rarely released. Security and control beneath the White House. Security underground is believed to be even more strict than above ground. Access is limited to personnel with the highest levels of clearance. Multiple layers of protection are reportedly in place, including armed security teams, surveillance systems, biometric access controls, reinforced barriers and blast doors, continuous monitoring systems. The underground environment is not designed for comfort or public use. It is built for crisis management, survival, and uninterrupted government operation. Even maintenance activities are likely controlled and monitored carefully. Everything is structured around one priority: ensuring that leadership remains functional during any national emergency. Why so much remains unknown. A large portion of information about the White House underground system remains classified for national security reasons. Revealing detailed layouts of tunnels, bunkers, or communication systems could expose vulnerabilities that might be exploited. For this reason, official documents often exclude sensitive underground details, even when describing renovations or structural updates. This secrecy has created decades of speculation. Some theories suggest the underground system is larger than officially acknowledged. Others believe there may be deeper connections across government facilities in Washington. While many of these claims remain unverified, it is widely accepted that a significant underground infrastructure does exist. The White House is known worldwide as a symbol of political power and leadership. But beneath its ceremonial halls, historic rooms, and official spaces lies another layer that is rarely discussed publicly. Under areas like the Ballroom and surrounding sections, there exists a hidden network of underground facilities designed for emergencies, protection, and continuity of government. From secure command centers to restricted tunnels and reinforced structures, this underground system represents the unseen side of national security. And despite decades of research and speculation, much of what exists beneath the White House remains classified and undisclosed. What is visible above ground tells only part of the story. The rest lies hidden beneath the surface.